Did you guys ever used to do as a kid? So it was that thing where you would stand with your hands down in front of you, and you'd intertwine your fingers. Someone would put their hands, and they would like try to open your hands, but you'd have to like resist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you'd do that for like 30 seconds, and then you'd put your hands down
And
on
then it'd be
either
like,
side,
whoa.
and your arms would levitate. They'd
Yeah.
literally start going up by themselves.
Isn't it clever?
We were easily amused.
This is the stuff that we had to, this is what we were doing back in the day.
This
didn't
is
have much
before
going
the
on.
internet was invented. We had to hold each other down and to make each other feel like our arms were levitating. That's all we had.
That's all
That's
we had.
all we had, chat.
Did you ever do the thing where you were sitting on a chair and you were blindfolded, and then people would pretend to lift you up, but they'd just hit you on the head with a book and said you'd hit the ceiling?
What?
No.
Do you want to know some more Yorkshire games? These are fucking great, these ones.
I feel like that only works like one time, though, hopefully.
No, we used to make my grandparents do it all the time, but they actually used to lift us up and hit us on the ceiling because we were like children. The flower game. Now this one's a great one. This is a game I made up. You get a square of flour, right? Doesn't matter whether it's self-raising or plain or cake or bread flour. Put a matchstick in the middle of that flour, and then everyone takes it in turns to cut a little bit of flour off it, and you've got to do as many cuts, and the person who makes the matchstick fall over has to pick it up with their teeth, and they get flour all over their face.
I saw something similar to that in a movie that they were playing
Was it about
with sand.
poor degenerate children?
No,
The-
it
the-
was like some fucking like Marie Antoinette thing where they were like, hee, oh, ho, ho, let's cut the sand.
Yeah, and then another Yorkshire game was this one was dead dangerous though. This one, it was what was it called? It was called Snapdragon, and it was a Christmas game. You'd have whiskey, and you put raisins in the whiskey, and you'd set the whiskey on fire,
Okay.
and you had to snap the raisins out of the alcohol that's on fire, and you'd be like,
Are you sure you just didn't join a gang?
Oh my god, I just remembered another thing. Okay, remember the string thing where you'd put it into a certain shape and then the other person would have to grab it in a certain way
Yeah.
and then they'd pull it.
Cat's
and then
Cradle.
Yeah.
Is that what it was? Cat's Cradle? That was
Something
a lot
like
of
I used to
fun.
be really good at that. That was so fun.
Yeah, I was so good at that. I used to have so much fun with that.
This
Every
is
time
like-
Every time we had apple pie, my grandma would peel the apples and she'd say, throw the peel over your shoulder and it will take the shape of your future husband's name. And we'd be like, oh, what is it? I hope it's a C because I really fancy Chris.
That's so silly. Oh my gosh.
We used to have another game which was like, try and eat as much of a chocolate bar, like a block of chocolate, with gloves on your hands with a knife and fork.
Yeah.
And you can't cut it up very well.
I've
Oh,
seen those.
It wards off demons. Throw anything over your shoulder and a demon won't be able to get you anymore.
Probably. I played
Really
a game
clever.
as a kid when I was an only child where I would put my grandmother's glasses on because she had a big prescription. I would put her glasses on and then I would spin around as fast as I could in a circle. And then I would sit in a little chair and I would pretend that I was flying an airplane that was crashing.
Oh my god.
Because I couldn't see because it was blurry from the glasses. And also I was very dizzy because I had spun around a lot.
Oh my god.
That's a good game.
I've said this before, but I was really good at standing on my head. So I would go out in the front yard and I would stand on my head next to the street and I'd just watch all the cars go by. And I would stand on my head for like so long. Like, I'm sure the neighbors were like, there's that fucking kid again.
This is why Boba is the way she is.
I was gonna say,
lot
My
of blood
blood
to the
rushed to my head.
she gave
Yes.
herself brain damage.
Probably. My poor lizard in there was like, oh my god, we're playing the airplane game again.
Oh no. Buckle in, boys.
This
The
I
lizard's
like how
controlling me.
this whole section is just going to end up on Boba's YouTube channel, just completely unedited of like things we
Oh, yeah.
used to do.
I mean,
Back when they were kids.